Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived two siblings named Lila and Ethan. Lila was 11 years old, and Ethan was 10. During their summer vacation, they went camping with their family near a vast forest. The forest, even in daylight, was dense and filled with deep shadows that sent shivers down anyone's spine. Yet, it seemed full of adventure. One morning, while their parents were preparing breakfast, Lila and Ethan decided to explore the forest. "Don't go too far," their father warned. But the children, driven by curiosity, ventured a little deeper. Lila was always the braver one, and Ethan felt he had no choice but to follow his sister. As they walked through the forest, they came across an old path. The path was covered with decayed leaves, and a strange mist hung in the air. "I think we should go back," Ethan said timidly. But Lila, filled with curiosity, said, "Let's go a bit further. Maybe we'll find something interesting," convincing Ethan to continue. After a while, they came upon a dilapidated cabin at the end of the path. As they stared at it, an eerie silence settled around them. Even the birds had stopped chirping. The cabin looked abandoned. Its door was slightly ajar, and a cold breeze seemed to flow out from inside. Lila, gathering her courage, stepped inside. Ethan hesitantly followed. The inside of the cabin was dark, and the air smelled of rotting wood. There was an old table, a toppled chair, and a piece of paper on the floor covered in strange drawings. On the corner of the paper, a note was written: "Those who enter cannot return." Lila picked up the paper to examine it more closely. At that moment, the cabin door slammed shut with a loud bang. The siblings jumped in fear and ran to the door. They tried to open it, but it seemed locked by some invisible force. "Lila, we need to get out of here," Ethan cried. Suddenly, they felt a cold breath in the room. The air around them grew heavy. The shadows on the walls began to move, as if something or someone was watching them. Lila noticed an old key on the table. "Maybe this will open the door," she said. They grabbed the key and turned it in the lock with difficulty. The door finally creaked open, but what they saw outside left them speechless. The forest had changed. The trees were darker and taller, and the path they had followed was gone. This isn't where we came from," Lila said, looking around in fear. Ethan added, "But how is that possible? We were only inside for a few minutes." Together, they tried to find their way out of the forest, but no matter which direction they went, they always ended up back in front of the cabin. The sky grew darker, the birds remained silent, and eerie whispers surrounded them. Ethan shivered and said, "Lila, I think we're lost. Or maybe the forest is trying to keep us here." Lila tried to stay calm and replied, "Don't be silly. This must just be a coincidence. Let's keep looking carefully." We'll find a way out. Just then, they heard a voice. It was a woman's whisper. "You've gone too far. This is your home now." The voice echoed as if it came from within the mist. The siblings clung to each other, scanning their surroundings. But the woman's voice grew closer, and the whispers turned into muffled laughter. Suddenly, they heard the snap of a branch behind them and turned around. What they saw, the rest remains a mystery. Lila and Ethan were never seen again. Years later, campers in that forest claimed to hear the cries of two children at night and the sound of a door slamming shut inside the old cabin. No one dared to approach it,